Hi everyone and welcome back to Compare Art Supplies with Bats, Cats and Broomsticks. Today I wanted to show off these two acrylic paint sets, the Crawford and Black and the Royal Languedoc. So I'll leave a link in the description as to where I got them and how you get your own, how much they cost and everything like that. I was going to go ahead and swatch both of these colours out for you guys to see. I am painting on an acrylic paper pad by Winsor & Newton. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Crawford and Black paint set and I am going to swatch all the colours through for you guys so you can see how well they work. One of the things that I'll note here is that the Crawford and Black paint set is the paint set that I used to use when I was in high school, and I do think that they're a really decent starter set for anybody who wants to get into art for the first time or is trying acrylic for the very first time and wants to learn how to use them, how they work. They're actually a pretty decent set to start out with. I find that they're really cheap, being as how 12 pack will only cost you £3 and you can find them at any works shop near to you. So I found that the colours in this set was also pretty decent. You got nice bright vivid colours. They did take a little bit of working up, and also the fact that these paints dry a really matte colour. They dry really very matte. I personally really like that in a paint set, but some people prefer it when they get a much shinier finish. That's one of the things that I didn't like about most acrylics, is that they give you a bit of a plasticky finish, and these paints, they dry really nice and even as well. So they do take a little bit of building up to get your colour and to prevent it from looking a bit washed on your paper or your acrylic paper or canvas. So when I was starting out in high school, these were the set to go for because they were way cheaper for learning your colour theories, for learning how to mix and blend and build on top of each other and stuff like that, than buying the Winsor & Newton acrylic paint tubes, which cost around about £3 to £4 a tube. It was much cheaper to learn with this set, and I have to admit that for a £3 set they really weren't bad at all. So I've never used the Royal Languedoc, so we'll see in this video how well they swatch out, and if you stay tuned all the way to the end, you'll get to see a side-by-side painting that I do to compare both of them and how they work. I'm going to do some reddish pink cherry blossom type flowers, I think. So the Crawford and Black have a really nice range of colours, and I personally found that the 12 pack were plenty of colours for what I needed, but they do have a 24 pack and I think maybe an even bigger pack than that as well, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But they do have additional colours available because they do have that 24 pack if you want to get more of a range of colours. I think they add pink in that particular colour, but for me personally the red here and some white did the trick just fine. But if you want a different shade of pink or something like that, maybe get the 24 pack. But for the bare essentials, for very first time learning how to use acrylics, I thought that this had just the right amount of colours that you possibly need. It has all the tertiary colours to start off with. You can blend from there most of what you need. I have to admit that in this particular set, the red was my favourite colour, but the orange is pretty nice and bright as well, gives you a really nice beautiful pumpkin shade of orange. So my favourite colour in this set has to be the red by miles. It's just such a nice deep rich red. Also they have this really beautiful sort of pumpkin shade of orange, and I thought that it was nice that this set included the yellow ochre. it has really all the basis of the colours that you'd possibly need. As far as I'm concerned, this was a pretty good starting set. But we're going to compare it today with the Royal Languedoc set, because I have seen it gaining in a bit of popularity with being a bit of a cheaper brand that's possible to make some paintings with. I wanted to see for myself if it was better than what I had when I was in high school, if I could recommend this one more over what I used to have, or if the Crowford & Black set still stands the test of time. One of the nice things about this set is that it includes a white that is a brilliant white. One of the things that a lot of cheap sets tend to do is skimp on the white, making them a little bit discoloured or something like that to make the set cheaper. So this is the Crowford & Black swatch that you can see on screen right now, and I'm going to move on to the Royal Languedoc set and swatch those out for you guys. So moving on, we've got the Royal and Languedoc set. I bought this set from TK Maxx and it cost me £7.99. I'm pretty sure that you can find this set for roughly about the same price anywhere on the internet, especially on Amazon. I did not know what to expect when I swatched these paints out for the very first time. I found that the white was still equally as brilliant in this set, which was a bit of a shock. Again, because a lot of the cheaper sets tend to skimp on white. It is always really nice that the white is perfect bright white. Then they included this skin tone yellow colour, which I thought was a really, really nice inclusion. Especially if you're particular to painting portraiture, it's a useful addition. Then we've got a range of yellows, but I found that only one of them was really very orange, which was a bit of a disappointment because I have about 5 types of yellow but only 1 type of orange. Having said that, they do include quite a lot of reds, so I imagine it would be quite easy to mix what you needed realistically. As I was going through these paints, swatching them out, I did notice that they had a little bit of a shiny, plasticky consistency. So I was a little bit worried about how that would look when it was finished and dried. But overall, the colours are incredibly bright. I have no qualms about the colours whatsoever. They were really, really nice, rich, thick, bright paints. So that's a really, really good part about these paints. I did feel like for £7.99 the tubes were very, very small. But that might be a bit of a deception due to them being plastic, that you do end up getting the same amount of paint. It's just that you don't feel that it's as much paint. The orange that is included is a nice deep burnt sunshine burnt sunset orange, and then they include an orange red and a pinkish red. I just wanted to take a second and say that these videos are not sponsored by the brands in the video, or any other brand really. I haven't monetized these videos, but that I just wanted to share some of my opinions and thoughts and feelings on cheaply available acrylic paints, because personally I feel like acrylic paints is one of the easiest ways of getting into art painting, because they are the most forgiving paints. Watercolours requires a lot of patience and nuance and practice, and can get very, very difficult and daunting to start from scratch with, whilst acrylic tends to be a lot more about what you can observe and what you can then replicate, because the paint will do a lot of the work for you. Blending can be a little bit of a challenge from time to time in acrylic paints. Some acrylic paints tend to get a little bit dry, and when you try and work them over each other, turn into an almost clay-like substance because they've gone all plasticky and dried. But so far, I'm not finding that to be the case with these paints. They do seem to be building up on each other quite nicely. Also, acrylic paint tends to be more forgiving than oil paints in that it doesn't take 90 million years for them to dry and set in place properly. I do, however, really like oil paints. Personally, I feel like they are the nicest paint to work with because they have this quality and texture, and the way the colours blend together is completely different. But when I was starting out in high school, these acrylic paints were what we were using, and oil pastels, but I personally never gone into oil pastels. They just weren't for me. I didn't like how hard it was to blend them. So we have a sort of pine sap green here, and I feel like it's almost close to being that blue-green colour that I really dislike when it's added into a set, because it's neither teal nor pine colour. It's supposed to be a viridian sort of green, but just has a little too much blue and a little too much wash. But if you build it up in this particular set, it seems to do okay. And I think that you can see from this particular blue just how bright these colours are. Like, the blues in particular were very, very, very strong and very bold. But since I didn't have a lot of options for the blues in the other sets, when I make a comparison painting, I decided to go with the closest matching red, the closest matching green, and the closest matching browns, and make myself a little cherry blossom branch. I just found a reference online to draw and paint. The purple in the Royal Languegnel set is a really, really nice, rich Cadbury's purple, and I thought that was nice. And they do have an ultramarine and a Persian blue. I did like that they included both of those in the 24 pack. They include only 2 browns, and I personally don't think that a set needs to have any more than 2 browns when you're starting out. One warm, one cold tone, and you're set on the brown. It's nice when they include burnt sienna, but it's not necessary. And lastly in this set, we've got our black paint. And I thought that the black paint in this gave you a little bit more coverage than in the Crawford and Black. I would say that the Crawford and Black paint needed a lot more work to get it to be complete black than this paint did. So we're almost finished with swatching out these colours for you guys to see what's included in this paint set. And there's only a few left. We've got this really, really beautiful, I think it's a violet blue purple kind of colour, and it is a really, really nice colour. It's a bit on the soft lavender side, but I do like that they included that. And we've got 2 kinds of brown and a black. I found that whilst I was swatching these colours that they did have quite a lot of transparency, and that it did take a lot of painting over the top of to get that nice coverage that you really need in order to be able to paint with them properly. But all of the colours overall were really, really nice colours. They did choose really, really well what colours went into this set. And for something that's a beginner's set, sort of for you to get an idea or a feel of how something works, I think they do a pretty good job. The only thing that I would note is that they do dry quite shiny, and they leave a very plastic appearance when they're done. Now that can be a bonus or a plus if you like your paintings to look like they're glossed when they're done, but personally I prefer the matte acrylic approach, but that is entirely down to preference. So this is both of them side by side. You can have a closer look and see, so you can tell that in the second one you can see that it shines back to camera, So now I'm going to move on to doing the side-by-side painting. I picked a little cherry blossom image that I found online, did a quick sketch, and I'm going to cut it down the middle and paint up to that centre flower with both paints. I'm going to do the Crawford and Black on the left hand side, and I'm going to do the Royal Langnau on the right hand side.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rockstar in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rockstar in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rockstar in this life, gon' live it up. the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rockstar in this life, I'm living up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rockstar in this life, I'm living up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only got one, so you better go live it up.
So that's it for this week's video. I hope that you guys really enjoyed watching it. I hope that this compare video is useful for you guys, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. Every single subscriber is really genuinely appreciated. And like this video if you enjoyed watching it. If you found it helpful, leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. Until next time.